So all you're doing is coming in and turning. Once again. See? Now, one thing I don't want to do is come up, because then his thumb is going to be jammed in, come across, or any kind of thing like this, because I'm just sticking his thumb right into me. But in this case, you're just absorbing that, turning in this way, and using your hips once again. I'm going to put my hand on top of your hand to press it into the chest, not into the neck. And then from here, my hand is under your underarm. I'm going to sink into the back leg and turn, keeping my other hand up and firm, not letting it drop. No. Watch. You don't do anything with your arms. You're doing things with your hands and your arms. When you're coming in, from this point on, I'm not doing anything with my hands and arms. All I'm doing is this, and my hands are not doing anything. What you're trying to do is push and maneuver and everything. You're just neutralizing yourself. Once your hands are here, don't do anything with them. Now the second one, you're grabbing here. You put strength into it. Right. Then you press down on the arm, turn, and you notice that your elbow is dropping as I'm dropping my hip. Try to get the dropping of your hip to result in dropping of the elbow. And my arm is not pushing down. It's just remaining right here. And it's the hip that's doing the work. Then this hand, of course, in the actual situation, you're striking and then coming in here. But we're just going to do the second part. As you drop your hip, the right elbow comes in. You're sinking into the hip and pushing in with the right elbow. Now let's do again the thing with both hands. Now come up here again. You're coming in with both hands to the neck. You're grabbing my neck. Now here again, I'm not going to push up or down because I'll be pushing him into my throat. Do it with a lot of force. I'm just going to put one hand on top, one hand on bottom. My hands and arms are going to stay about the same. And I'm just going to turn. Okay, again. See, it's very easy. Now, if I were to use muscle force, watch what would happen. Come in with a lot of force, really strengthen up. I couldn't do it. And again, I'm not going to try this. So again, come with a lot of force. It's very easy to just turn. People are not used to turning and pivoting. They're standing stiff like this, and if you turn them, they're going to fall over. Do that same thing to me. See, the problem is that I'm still here. Right. Even though you've done that, you've twisted my arms up, but I'm still here. Right. Because your body basically remained in the same position. Mm-hmm. You need to turn to make that person go out. Bend the hips. Bring your hands up in the right position. Okay, now bend the hips as you're doing that. Okay, you should wind up with your weight. Don't change your weight. Keep your weight right back there. Okay, do it again. Keep your weight right back there. Now, you see, you're moving in towards me and neutralizing some of your own force. See, put your hands here. And put the strong arms. I think oops. The idea is that I'm not doing this. Grab again. I'm not doing this and moving in and getting my hands bound up as well. I'm doing it slow motion again. What I'm trying to do here, strong, is turn the hips. And notice that this hand I keep also firm. I don't let it go. And this hand I also keep in here. I don't let that go. And now, with the turn, I can bring you over. Okay. So you need to have me off pivoting. You want to get me pivoting on this kind of an axis. This type of way. And just turn. That's the only thing. Just turn. Right. That's all you do is just turn. And stay with the arms. Right. Now here, of course, one thing that can be done that's very convenient is your legs are still free. And his knees are right over here. So if you have to, you can kick the legs or kick the knees. Right? But if you don't want to cause that kind of injury, and it would be, they might have a permanent injury in the knees if you did that. Of course, if they're just somebody coming up to you in the street, you have to protect yourself. But if it's somebody you know and you don't really want to hurt them, put some pressure on. you need to step behind them, you see. So this way, you're not fighting against their force. You're kind of giving in, but remaining solid in the front leg. The back leg goes under, and you notice that my back knee is behind his front knee. If I come up now, you know what's going to happen. I won't do it because it's a hard wooden floor. But anyway, you're coming up and grabbing, and as you grab the neck, I step behind. So I'm nice and loose. My hip is, my rear end is right up against this hip. So I come out this way, or I can come up, see? Or from here, in a nice seated position, my elbow is right near his chest, and I can turn in there. Let's do it from this direction so they'll see the same thing. Okay. Now you're coming in. I just go with his force. I don't try to counteract his force. Notice that my elbow is right here, my knee is right here, my butt is right there. If I do all at once, you can get a lot of effect that way. So you just need to, again, you're right under his center of balance, and you have all of these options. Another thing that can be done is if my knee is on the inside of his, I can turn it out, bend forward, and come up. See, so the important thing is when force is applied, to give with it, come in under, and then you have a lot of options as to what you can do. Rather than come in again, put some force on there, rather than trying to go like this, and I can already feel it. My throat's going to hurt. Come in again, just go. Go. Go with that force. But remain solid on the bottom. Don't do it this way. Again, put force in where you don't have solidity on the bottom. Go with it on top. The top is light, but the bottom has to be very solid. Let's say I'm coming up from behind you, right? And it's your hands just by the side, you notice here. And I'm going to take his hand and bring it up like this, right behind here. And then, okay, now try that. I'm going to be over here. Grab my left hand. You're going to bring it right up in here. So I'm going to turn and allow that to happen, and then turn out. Again, grab the hand. It comes in. Again, that elbow connects with his elbow, and from here you turn. You grab it, and this is up here. I turn, and it doesn't take that much force. Again, he's pushing it into my body. I just take my body away, and his hand will come out, and then my elbow can rest on in the inside of his elbow. So he's got me here, but I've got him. From here, I use my hip against his elbow, pressing his elbow in. I can even grab the hand like this. And then I just turn the hip. And since this is on the outside of the elbow, he can't, it can only bend so far. So he has to go to relieve the pressure. I'll do it once again very slow. You're grabbing, comes up here, and you're pressing this against my body. I just let that slip and let my elbow come in. This has to press against his hand very strong. I might even hold his hand in here. Then it's very important, only use the hips, not the upper body. Sink into the right hip. And then, of course, do whatever you need to do. Right, roll. Now, step first. Go back, step first. With the front foot, not the back foot. Step in. And roll that out using the hip. Turn that hip in. Really turn the hip in. Drop that hip right. Right. Again. Right.